Good morning, everybody. Just as the sun has risen, so should our mind and our heart. Above all things, we ought to have courage. Courage is needed in times such as this. We are going to continue to explore Psalms 23, and the goal is that the words in these verses will be meditation upon our heart, that we consider the words in order to really provide context into our situations that we explore today. And we're going to be exploring the first verse in the book of Psalms 23. And the first verse reads, "The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want." It's interesting here because David is the author of the book, and David is writing to us metaphorically throughout the book of Psalms 23 about God's role in his life, God's role in his life. And as we explore the first verse, David is diving in and saying two real definitive things. The first thing he's saying is that God is his shepherd. The Lord is his shepherd. And to really understand God's role in David's life as he's describing it, we got to understand what a shepherd is. A shepherd is one that protects his flock. He provides power, safety, authority, guidance, direction, provisioning, watchful eye. God is David's shepherd. Is God your shepherd in your life? As he guided you, as he protected you, as his power been placed into your context, into your space. Where is God's power in your life? And so again, David is really describing two definitive things. One, that God is his shepherd. And the second definitive thing that David is describing is that he shall not want. It seems to be interesting. It's almost like David is coming to a conclusion that two important things are really happening in his space. The first thing is that God exists. And the second thing that he realizes his own nature by wanting something, he's refusing to do it. And it makes me wonder, David, what are you thinking? What are you describing? What are you trying to tell us that I shall not want? It's almost as if to say there's a problem with wanting. There's a problem with wanting. And I think it's important to be close and intimate with David in these scriptures to really understand what David is bringing out of saying, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." It's almost like he's telling us because God shepherds him, his wants are not necessary. Listen, if God is truly providing for you, if God is truly protecting you, if God is truly having a watchful eye on you, then it's safe to say that's more important than your wants. I know you may want more money. I know you may want a better relationship. I understand you may want more things out of life, things that you feel will make you either happy, satisfied, or a better person. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. As we continue to dive in and explore the problem with wanting more than God in your space, we need to understand his psychology. There's a psychology of wanting. The psychology of wanting assumes this, that wants are simply desires that remove us from our present to places in the future and past. Wants are desires that remove us, take us out of our present mentally, and consume us to look for things in the future to come, or the things that we've experienced in the past. 400 people. Let's place a table at the front of the room. And at the front of the room, we're going to have an individual sitting there. And as they sit there, we're going to have a sign that says CEO. And so they did that. They sat this individual down in the room with the other group members, 400 of them, and they sat there for 4 hours. And when they came back into the room, half of the sauerkraut was gone. And not only was half of the sauerkraut gone, but people wanted it, but didn't go get it. And so the researchers came with the conclusion that, yes, there are things in this life that may seem appeasing and may not seem appeasing. However, when humans see other humans have things, the desire to have it grows stronger. That's what I'm saying here. David is realizing that, God, I've had enough. I've been through enough. I'm a king. I've explored enough. I conquered giants. But I still come to the conclusion that you're enough right now. And the Lord is my shepherd today. That's what we need to take away. The Lord is our shepherd today. He guides us today. He protects us today. He provides for us today in this moment, in this present moment. We need to be mindful. We need to be awakened that right now God is here. And I understand that you may have a desire for me to slow down today. Minimize your wants. Maximize God's presence in your life. Pray today. Speak today. Let your heart be filled with His guidance today. Meditate your mind upon His love today in this moment.